You know what? I think a road trip should have 3 things. Number 1, delicious mouth-watering food. Number 2, exotic, beautiful locations. And number 3, exotic, beautiful travellers. And I think we've got all 3. Over the years, I've been lucky to stuff myself with almost every cut of Wagyu beef in all of Japan. From Kobe beef, the most famous, to Masasaka beef, the most expensive. But there's a cut of Wagyu beef so rare that not even I've got my hands on it until now. A cut of Wagyu so rare it makes up just 1% of Japan's supply. It's even been nicknamed Phantom Wagyu because some say it doesn't exist. One of the reasons Tunkaku beef has eluded so many is that it's located in the most rural region of Japan's second biggest prefecture, Iwate. And so to get there, we're going on an expedition, a 2-day road trip in search of what's rumoured to be Japan's juiciest beef. Along the way, we'll be staying at a legendary haunted inn known for its numerous ghost sightings, brilliant, and exploring a stunning remote coastline that most people never get to see. And because I'm too lazy to drive myself, I've enlisted a reasonably priced Japanese driver as well as an experienced local guide from an exotic land to help show us around. Oh, it's quite the blizzard up here in North Japan today. Good morning, Ryotaro.
Hey, making me stand here for like half an hour.
Yes, I did film the opening quite a few times. If you are going to stand and film in a 2,000-year-old house with a bonfire going, probably get out of it quick because there's a lot of smoke. This is a Jomon-era house. It dates back about 2,000 years. It's the sort of house someone like Ryotaro would have been brought up in all those years ago. But Ryotaro is the driver for our trip, but who is our guide? He's holding the camera. Let's introduce him. Good morning, Quinlan.
Hey, good to see you.
I promised you exotic, beautiful people. Quinlan is from Wisconsin. If that's not exotic, I don't know what is. Quinlan's very much the expert on all things North Japan. He's lived here, what, 20 years now?
This is my 20th year here, yeah.
20 years in Japan. You might have seen Quinlan about 3 years ago. We did a video, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
You gave me a tour of Morioka City. And we talked about the differences between American and British culture. Apparently Americans are friendlier than British people.
Can you really argue with that?
No, not really. Completely accurate, to be honest. Good man. All right, let's get out of the snow. Get out of this bloody cold. And so our 100-mile journey across the mountains of North Japan is underway in search of the mysterious Tunkaku beef. Where are we off to next though, Quinlan? Where's our first stop?
Tomorrow we're going to find that amazing Wagyu beef as well as the rugged abandoned coast of Iwate. But it's a bit late, and so first I'm going to take you to meet a 6-year-old boy ghost.
Meet a 6-year-old ghost. We're staying at a haunted inn?
Oh no, you're staying at a haunted inn.
Well, where are you staying?
Oh, I'm staying at the Holiday Inn.
The Holiday Inn, the haunted inn. Where's he staying?
He's with you.
It's getting worse by the minute.
No, I thought I was staying at the Holiday Inn.
It's getting worse by the minute. Oh. It's said in Japan that when a child dies within the family home, they return as a spirit known as a Zashikiwarashi. Sworn to protect the household, a Zashikiwarashi is a playful guardian spirit which brings good fortune to those who catch sight of it. Although if the spirit is ignored or unloved, a terrible curse will befall the household. Over 600 years ago, a 6-year-old boy travelling through Iwate died of an illness, and centuries later, after the Ryokufuso Inn was built upon the site where the boy passed away, it quickly became one of the most haunted places in all of Japan, on account of the numerous sightings of the boy wandering through the inn at night. Such was its reputation that many of Japan's elite travelled north to stay overnight at the inn and try their luck. Everyone from former prime ministers to Soichiro Honda, the founder of Honda. If it worked for them, well, hopefully it worked for us. So, just checked into the room.
Yo.
And we're going to go and look at the shrine outside. The shrine where it said the boy likes to hang around. And that's our first stop. And then we're going to come back in here, into the ryokan, and look at the foyer and the main area and the main room. After about 9 o'clock, I think 9 or 10, they turn all the lights out.
Yeah.
And they've got little lamps and things on, but it's pretty dimly lit. So you can get photos and go and have a look around. So we're going to do that. Ready?
Ready, let's go.
Pretty cold outside.
Yeah.
Let's go and look at the shrine. In 2009, tragically, a fire burned down a great portion of the Ryokufuso Inn. However, none of the staff or guests were injured. It's said that the spirit watched over them before escaping to the one part of the inn left completely unscathed by the fire.
Apparently, this shrine, after the fire, is the place where the spirit of the boy escaped to. This was the only place wasn't burned, and some say that they still see the spirit of the boy. He's still here. a bit creepy, isn't it? Inside the torii gate, hear something.
A little bit, yeah.
See, I'm talking about this kind of things, and then suddenly there's air.
I don't know, it's one of those situations where you don't want to look too much because you just think you might picture a little boy running through the trees or running around the shrine or between the gates.
Even though we feel this creepiness here, but the spirit here is actually good spirit, right? So I think we should be, more, I don't know, welcoming.
More welcoming?
Yeah.
What are you going to do then? You're going to bash out a song?
Or just
be more welcoming? If I was a 6-year-old
Party.
boy and you turned up at my shrine, I would do everything in my power to get you out of here. I'll be throwing rocks at you right now. Hint, hint.
It's freezing outside. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, even the boy, it's so cold, but even the boy's probably thinking, I'm not going to go out there.
No, I think
Why
he's
are
in the
those
room.
Muppets out there? Let's go back inside.
Yeah, we should. So, this is the room where the spirit of boy, appears.
So these are the toys that have been left here by people staying at the hotel. There's actually a sign here saying it's all right to leave your toys here for the Zashiki Warashi, but when you leave the hotel, take your stuff with you. Otherwise there's just going to be a massive pile of toys here, as there already is now. As a 650-year-old, 6-year-old boy, I wonder if he's confused by some of these toys. I mean, obviously, back in the 1300s, there wouldn't have been police cars or maracas or, fried potatoes. I'd like to think he absolutely loves this stuff. After like 9 PM, they turn all the lights down in the hotel, and it just becomes like hide and seek in a giant, like traditional Japanese inn.
See, like imagine those days, like he found this maracas. It's just kind of what he would do with it. It's like dancing salsa.
Yeah, that's exactly what he would do.
So this is notes. The visitors here, people who stayed here, actually left notes of the experiences. And then I'm just kind of reading some really strange comments. Oh, thank you for playing with me last night. It was fun. It was fun, like flying the toy planes, and I'm coming back again. Last night when I was asleep, I heard some like strange sound, and like I couldn't move my body, and I heard someone like kind of standing on my chest, and then he or she, whoever, touched my cheek, and then tapped my forehead.
Sounds a little bit dodgy to me.
Yeah, and I couldn't see him or her. But it's been said that this spirit, a boy, tends to appear in front of you like around 2 a.m., 3 a.m.
Well, he's going to be disappointed because I plan to be fast asleep by 2 a.m.
But I don't know. I'll wake you up and just drag you down here and just leave you here asleep and see what's going to happen to you.
He'll be joining the boy because I'm going to beat you to death with a shoe. If that happens. The fuck?
You didn't touch it. I was watching. You didn't touch it. You did not touch it.
That's creepy.
Why are you filming?
No, I wasn't filming.
Oh, shit.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Typical, isn't it? The one creepy thing that happens. What, this bird just fell down off the, off here. We're about to do some B-roll. A bit creepy. We're about to do some B-roll shots, some nice shots of these dolls.
And I was holding this light.
And he was holding the light, and I was going to film it. And one of the birds just fell off, this little bird. It's pretty heavy.
It wasn't illusion or anything. It was just we were watching it. We were like,
Yeah, I mean,
right there.
we were about a metre away when it all fell off. Oh, fucking hell.
It was just...
Creepy.
Which way?
I don't know. I won't read into that too much. If he's still here, do it again. Please do it again. This time let me have the camera rolling. But no, the bird fell off. Read into that, whatever you will. There you go. I wouldn't want to sit in this room on my own. Not gonna lie. I wouldn't do it. So it's now 12:30 and Ryotro's gone for the onsen, gone for some late night hot spring relaxation whilst I'm doing some work on the laptop. And yeah, I mean, I don't believe in the paranormal, but you know, when somewhere like this has such a strong reputation for hundreds of years, it's hard to ignore that. It's hard to just walk in and dismiss something, and yeah, it is a little bit unnerving walking down the corridors at night, but actually it really helps you just appreciate the atmosphere of the inn. You know, walking around it, you spend more time looking around it. I don't really walk around these traditional Japanese inns much when I get here. I usually come in, sit in a hot spring, eat a bit of dinner and then go to sleep. But because it has the history and the zashiki warashi, it helps you to appreciate it more. You go out at 12 o'clock at night and walk around the corridors and look around and sit in silence, and for that alone, it's a really cool kind of backstory to have. The only thing I am worried about is apparently at night the boy comes to your bed and lies on your stomach. He lies on the stomach of the guests at the hotel, especially adults. I don't want that to happen. I've got to get up pretty early tomorrow. If you are listening, ghost boy, don't do that. Don't cross the line. I'll be really angry. Other than that, great place. See you tomorrow morning. So we're back on the road, and look who we've just picked up for the rest of our journey. Quinlan's back in the car. How you doing, Quinlan?
I'm doing great. How is the hotel?
We had a little bit of a weird experience.
Oh, really?
I was getting some footage of these little toy birds, and we're about a metre away, and one of the birds just fell off the shelf randomly.
What more do you want?
I don't like to read too much into things, but that was a little bit odd.
I think if that counts as solid proof.
It counts as solid proof. Absolutely, without a doubt.
No pigs and no Japanese are allowed to enter. So I'm not allowed to enter. You and Quinlan can enter. Why is that?
So we've just stopped to the middle of nowhere, literally the middle of nowhere, en route, and there's a sign saying caution, no pigs and no Japanese. But foreigners, okay. You can't come here, stay back. Stay back. You.
We gotta get no go.
Unbelievable. Good. Bad. Good.
Good.
Bad. Because he's a pig. A dirty, dirty pig. After a lengthy drive across the mountains and through areas that even Japanese people appear to be banned, we arrive at our destination, one of the few restaurants in the country serving Phantom Wagyu. So it's 11:30, we've just arrived at the restaurant, about to go in the kitchen to watch the beef be prepared. Everyone's favourite bit. You ready?
I'm ready.
Are you ready? Yeah, let's go.
Let's go. Dun, dun, dun.
Look at this beef. Short horned beef, tankakugyu. And some say that for Wagyu, it's whiter the better. Some people like it whitest, the fattiest, but this is not. It's really lean, but it is. Some say it's a lot better than the marbled beef. And let's see it.
Wow. Look at this. This is just amazing.
It's very juicy. The main thing that makes a big difference is the seasoning. If you saw in the kitchen, there was no shortage of seasoning when he did it. It was like snowing.
This is guilt-free beef, I think, because I've been on hikes where as part of the hike up the mountain, there's pasture land. And so you pass these tankakugyu, these shorthorn cattle, and they're very happily grazing. And so, I don't know, it's not a factory farm at all. This is really naturally pasture raised. As much as beef can be environmentally friendly, this is environmentally friendly beef.
I think I've eaten more Wagyu than anyone I know. In Japan there's lots of different varieties. Every town, every city, every region. This is the first time I've had beef in Japan, Wagyu beef, that is different because of the fact that it is mostly meat rather than fat. So is it the rarest beef in Japan, do you think?
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely one of the rarest.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And it's phantom beef because it's gone.
Fun.
Your one's gone.
He's gone. Yeah, some of us like.
You ones that's not being.
See,
fun yet.
Quinlan's taking his time with the beef.
I'm not a big steak person, really. I haven't had a steak in 10 years, to be totally honest.
What? This is like the
first
first
steak-
steak after 10 years?
Yeah, the first steak I've had in 10 years, but if I'm gonna have only one steak every decade, this is the steak of a decade. Is it not?
Anniversary.
That is a fine review. It's one of the best beefs I've had in Japan. It's low in calories, high in protein, low in fat,
And juicy.
and juicy as hell. That's bloody brilliant. Oh.
Well, that was one hell of a meal. Thank you, Quinlan. That was thanks to him. It's his idea. He told me about this beef, and I owe you a great debt now, because that was one hell of a meal. We're in the middle of like an alpine kind of resort area. But where we're heading to next is the coastline, which is well known for being one of the most beautiful coastlines in all of Japan. What do they call it?
The Sanriku Coast.
Sanriku Coast. And luckily, well, Ryotaro is driving, so we can have a nap on the way. Well, hey, we've arrived. Thank you, Ryotaro, for driving the last 2 hours. I had a wonderful nap, most wonderful sleep. Good job. His silence says everything we needed to. Next up on our hit list is a handcrafted cave.
Hand-carved tunnel.
Hand-carved tunnel. So lead the way.
This is adventure.
This is adventure.
This is glory.
It's so adventure, I can't even see what's going on.
Wow. Right?
Beautiful. So you come here a lot, Quinlan.
I do.
What do you feel when you come somewhere like this?
I usually go into the mountains, and so for me, coming to the ocean gives me a different kind of awe at the massive power of nature, basically.
This place is spectacular, and I can't wait to get a car in a few months and actually start coming here more often. Well, it's been quite the adventure across Iwate. From Ryotaro's former house, to the rugged Pacific coastline, and the terrifying sight of a bird falling off a shelf, forever ingrained in my mind. If you're interested in visiting any of the places we explored on our road trip, or finding restaurants where you can get hold of Tankaku Phantom beef, as always you can find the details in the description box below. But that's all for now, folks. We've had a lovely time eating Tankaku beef, seeing Quinlan's face. It's been magical. If you like Quinlan, he has got his own YouTube channel, Go North Japan, talking about life in North Japan. He does a lot of mountaineering, trekking. He's a very outdoors person, somebody I should probably spend a bit more time with. But for now, guys, as always, many thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Do the drone, Quinlan. Yeah, the drone. Do the drone. Let's get a cool drone shot, like in the films. We've been exploiting Quinlan's brand new drone. We can get the money shot now, taking off across the sea.
To try.
Here we go. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Subscribe. Abroad Japan and Go North Japan. Everything with Japan in it. It's going to crash into those seagulls.
It's not.
The drone.
Bye.
The drone is about to crash into a flock of seagulls.
Kind of is.
Oh, there's. Oh shit.